Good morning again. Welcome to Sealand News Brief. Today is August 31st, the last day of the month. So 펜스테이션 redevelopment is very risky. We're going to talk about that. And also small investors snap up out of town properties, notebook owners. And another thing we want to talk about is growth in home prices eased in June. And the next news is Zillow stocks fell and more pain is coming. And we're going to talk about the US second economic growth, GDP growth, minus 0.6%. And the next news will be job vacancies rose in July in US. And the last news is Han국ta이어 plans expansion in Tennessee, US. Okay, so we want to take a look at the interest rate first. All the interest rate this week, 30-year, 15-year FHA, and 5-year ARM, 7-year ARM, all went up without any exceptions. And 10-year Treasury yield went up to 3.144. The first news is the small investors snap up out-of-town properties. 코리안 타이어는 온라인으로 구매하는 노트북 집주인들 투자 인기다. 이렇게 되어 있습니다. 온라인을 통해서, 그러니까 주로 이제 랩탑을 통해서 한다, 뭐 이래서 the data service helps small investors buy the online real estate purchase and collect the rent remotely. Of course, it's a virtual closing, and after that, also rent collection remotely. And this data services provides the sales price, crime rate, and local schools with precision, very accurate data. The typical the site it provides is a roof stock and appreciate the two sites to connect them with the financing and or local managers who can handle property maintenance and leasing. So homeowners, they don't have to, let's say, go to Florida to close and also take care of the property. I was wondering if anything goes wrong, okay, they have to repair, then who will take care of it? I think naturally property management comes into the picture later on in the future if this really is happening. But look at the statistics. Home purchase by investors climbed to a record level during the pandemic, reaching to 28% in February 22, up from 17% in 2019. So, of course, we know that. Numerous times I emphasize rental property. Okay, if you have extra money and still the interest rate is not much, you should grab the residential investment property. And look at the statistics. The investor is purchased residential property grew to 28% in February this year. And out-of-state small investors purchased between 2 and 10 homes a year, but 2.1% of all American homes sold in the second quarter in 2022, up from 1.5% in 2019. So this kind of notebook homeowners, okay, so-called, is not much still, only 2.1%, but it grew from 1.5% in 2019. 아마 뉴스 기사를 보셨을지 모르겠는데요. 온라인 구매로 집을 사서 그 다음에 계속 리모틀리 렌트를 컬렉션하는 소위 노트북 집주인들이 많이 늘어났다. 그래서 그게 인기다. still rent income이 좋기 때문에 그 두 개의 대표적인 사이트가 있는데요. 룹스탁하고 appreciate 이 두 사이트를 한번 여러분도 관심 있으면 들어가 보시면 좋을 텐데 하여튼 그 사이트에서 아주 정확한 sales price, 그다음에 crime rate, 뭐 local school information, maybe restaurant around, all this kind of information they provide, and also they provide the financing and the local managers who can handle property maintenance and leasing. That's what I'm saying. Local managers becomes, basically it's a property management skills. The real estate is real estate은 역시 그 피스컬한 비즈니스잖아요, 그죠? 로컬리티가 중요하잖아요. 왜냐하면 스탁 같은 거는 리모델리 투자하고 팔고 얼마든지 할 수 있어요. You don't have to come to this company at all. But real estate is different. Somebody has to be there to fix something, even to paint something, and then clean up something. Physically, it is demanding. Then who will do that? Basically, local property managers will handle that. The only problem is property management earns very tiny money, not the lucrative area at all. So that's why a lot of people, they don't want to do property management as a job. Now, and during the pandemic, the home purchase investors grew. Okay, it's a 28%. That's a lot from 17%. In other words, almost like a 1/3 is investors among the home buyers. That is quite a big number. 굉장히 너무 많은 거죠, 그죠? 그러나 돈의 흐름이 있기 때문에 어쩔 수가 없다. 그리고 온라인으로 이렇게 노트북 주인처럼 해서 사는 사람들이 19년도에 1.5%에서 이제는 2.1%로 늘어났다. 조금 뒤에 질로, 뭐 오픈도 이런 뉴스가 좀 나올 거예요. 오케이. And 펜스테이션 redevelopment is risky. We want to take a look at the first news. Well, as you know, we reported this news, 펜스테이션 redevelopment plan, which will cost about $22 billion, which is huge. And NYT, New York Times, reported it is risky business because many corporations reduce their New York office presence. Okay, this project got approval from PACB, which is Public Authority Control Board, in July, and includes expansion of Penn Station and 10 more high-rise mixed-use buildings around the station. And even we heard that they're going to move the Madison Square Garden to nearby, right? So anyway, this project, NYT pointed is risky, and they said nearby Hudson Yard is suffering with vacancy for the last 3 years. The office vacancy rate in Hudson Yard is right now 37%, while average vacancy rate in Manhattan is 19%. 펜스테이션 리디벨롭먼트 프로젝트가 굉장히 기대가 되는데요. Again, 우리 뉴욕 오피스도 32가 있어서 그 영향권에 들어가 있는데, $22 billion 리디벨롭먼트 프로젝트인데, 뉴욕 타임즈에서 최근에 이 프로젝트가 너무 리스키하다, 위험이 굉장히 크다, 큰 도박이다, 이렇게 지금 리포트를 해서 좀 기사가 됐고요. 이 프로젝트는 PACB의 어프로브를 받았고요. 뉴욕 Public Authority Control Board에 그리고 펜스테이션 확장하는 것뿐만이 아니라 그 근처에 한 10개 정도 하이라이즈 믹스드 유즈 빌딩을 짓는 계획이 포함되어 있다. 그래서 NYT는 특별히 허슨 야드를 봐라. 허슨 야드의 지금 베이컨시 레이트가 37%다. 3년 동안 계속 고생을 하고 있다. 그리고 통계는 허슨 야드 내부적으로는 오피스 베이컨시가 37%고요. 그 다음에 맨하탄의 in general 베이컨시 레이트는 19%다. 오케이, 요 뉴스를 우리가 했고요. The next news is growth in home prices eased in June. Case-Shiller Home Index said home prices in major metropolitan area rose 18% in June, down from 19.9% in May. So still price rose, but it's only 18%. And it's reduced from 19.9% in May. And housing market has cooled in recent months, and existing home sales, in other words, the number of transactions, have fallen for 6 straight months. And median existing home price rose 10.8% in July from a year earlier to $403,800 according to NAR. 자, 주택가가 상승세가 이제 공식적으로 통계로도 꺾이기 시작했다. 그렇다고 프라이스가 내려간 게 아니고요. 상승되는 그 퍼센테이지가 줄어들었다. 이런 얘기죠. 그래서 캐스슐러 인덱스, 캐스슐러 홈 인덱스는 미국의 주요 도시 20개의 주요 도시의 홈 인덱스를 발표하죠. 그것이 준에 6월 달에 18%에 미치지 않았다. 증가가. 근데 5월 달에는 19.9%였다. 그러니까 조금 이제 그 증가율이 줄어든다. 그리고 전체적으로 좀 하우스 마켓이 쿨다운 되지 않느냐. 왜냐하면 세일즈 자체가 number of transaction이 6개월 연속으로 줄어들고 있다. 그래서 median existing home price가 줄라이에 10.8% 증가했고 작년 대비죠. From year earlier. 그래서 median existing home price가 지금 40만 3,800불이다. NAR 보고입니다. Okay, this is interesting news. The Zillow stocks fell, but more pain is coming. And the Zillow lost 2/3 of its value over the last 12 months to market capitalization of barely $8 billion amid virtually every other is surfing its site. It's an interesting observation because we'll see later. About 90% of US adults, which is about 234 million people, serve Zillow's apps and site monthly. However, Zillow monetized only 3% of US real estate transactions. So this is a phenomenon. Everybody talking about Zillow, but Zillow doesn't make any money. What's going on? They monetized, they could make money only 3% of US real estate transactions. And they miserably failed iBuying division last year. They closed down. And after that, Zillow partnerships with Open Door. Actually, Open Door was competition of Zillow. You know that, right? Well, Zillow started later, but Open Door started much, much earlier in this business, internet flipping business, automated home flipping market leader for referral fee. Now, Zillow, people contact the Zillow, click the Zillow, and they're gonna connect it to Open Door, and then Zillow will just receive a referral fee. For now. Well, I think that's a pretty pity decision, but they have to survive somehow. And the Zillow said the housing market is going through rebalancing right now. In July, sales of new single-family homes, new construction, fell nearly 30% on an annual basis and nearly 13% versus June. 그 진로가 지금 한 작년인가 올 초인가요? 그 아이바잉 인터넷으로 플리핑하는 비즈니스 디비전을 시작을 했다가 결국은 망했죠. 클로즈 다운 해버렸어요. 그때의 오픈도어 경쟁 회사죠. 오픈도어는 그냥 지금 계속 가고 있어요. 오픈도어는 그런 데를 조금 나은 것 같아요. 그래서 지금은 진로가 그쪽에다가 이제 손님 들어오는 거는 대주고 리퍼럴 피만 받는 비즈니스로 지금 떨어져 있다. 그런데 굉장히 재밌는 현상이 진로가 지금 엄청 돈을 잃고 있는데요. 90% 이상이 진로 클릭을 한대요. monthly basis. 그래서 한 234 million people, 즉 90% US 어덜트인데, 근데 실질적으로 진로가 트랜잭션에서 돈을 만드는 거는 3%밖에 전체 트랜잭션에 벌어들인 돈은 3%에 지나지 않는다는 거죠. 굉장히 인트레스트하죠. 지금도 우리 부동산 에이전트들은 이 진로 때문에 고생을 아직도 하고 있는 경향이 있어요. 물론 진로를 이용할 수도 있지만, 그래서 그런 상황이 진로로서는 지금 그렇다. Okay. And well, as I said before, U.S. second quarter economy grows negative 0.6%. The DOC, Department of Commerce, announced it adjusted U.S. second quarter GDP growth to 0.6% upwardly. In other words, forecast was minus 0.9%. So it's getting better. And the U.S. experienced 2 consecutive months with a minus growth. Okay, we already talked about that. First quarter GDP minus 1.6%. Second quarter GDP is minus 0.6%. So technically, it is considered as a recession. Official decision of recession is done by NBER, National Bureau of Economic Research. So not the Biden admin, not the Fed will declare the recession, but NBER, they usually decide whether it's a recession or not. And Biden admin and the Fed are denying a recession because mainly for strong job market at this moment. 지금 US second quarter에 아까도 말씀드렸지만은 그 GDP growth가 마이너스 0.6%라는 거 다 알고 계시죠? 근데 오리지널 포캐스트는 마이너스 0.9%였다. 조금 상향 조절된 거죠. 그래서 지금 first quarter에 마이너스 1.6% 두 쿼터를 비교해 볼 때에 by definition it is recession. 그러나 officially recession은 NBER에서 declare한다. 그리고 바이든 정부나 페드는 지금 recession이 아니라고 그렇게 주장하고 있다. 왜냐하면 job market이 strong하기 때문에. The next news is well, in a sense, it's kind of we know what does it mean, but number of open jobs in U.S. rose in July after 3 months of declines. This means this is the sign of employers still urgently seeking workers despite a weakening economy and high inflation. And right now, open jobs is 11.2 million. It rose from 11 million in June. And nearly 2 jobs on average for every unemployed person. Wow. So they have a choice. That's a good sign, but I mean, good situation, but problem is, where are the workers? Okay. Either they got too much money and they don't want to work, that is the situation? I hope not, but maybe that's the situation. The Fed has made very little progress in terms of narrowing the gap between labor supply and demand. So that's the Fed's the dilemma right now. It's headaches. 그 7월에 미국 고용시장이 증가를 했다는 뉴스가 지금 들어와 있고요. 7월 말 현재 11.2 밀리언 잡이 오픈돼 있다. 근데 그것이 준에 비해서 늘었다. 근데 그 전에 3개월은 어떤 줄어들었지만은 그래서 지금 여전히 인플로이어들은 컴퍼니는 사람을 찾고 있다. 도대체 다 어디를 갔느냐 사람들이. 계속 얘기지만 돈을 너무 많이 가지고 있어서 일을 안 해도 되는 건지 그런 지금 상황이 아닌 것이냐. 그렇다면 돈을 너무 푸는 것이 아니냐. 미국 그 전체적으로. 그래서 물론 돈을 너무 많이 풀어서 그것이 지금 인플레이션도 지금 그 계속 붙이고 있는 거지만 아무튼 그런 뉴스가 지금 들어와 있고요. I think it's the last one. 한국타이어 plans expansion in Tennessee, U.S. The 한국타이어 in Rockville, Tennessee has capacity of producing 5.5 million tires a year, which is 8th global factory facilities worldwide. If they expand the second phase and third phase, second phase basically mainly they produce passenger cars and light trucks, and the third phase, they're going to produce tires for truck and bus. Their capacity will rise to 12 million tires per year. So 한국타이어 is now one of the major players in terms of producing tires worldwide. The company will invest a total of $1.575 billion till 2026 in US. So Biden's keep pounding made in USA, or they try to bring all the manufacturing facilities back in the US shore. So I think it's working. And well, we have there's some in terms of a Korean manufacturer, they have a problem with the EV because the government the package excluded Hyundai automobiles because they produce in Korea. So now they are on fire. Mr. Chung, the head of Hyundai Automobile, right now I think he's in Korea, he's in US to resolve this situation. They don't get the benefit, the tax benefit or whatever benefit consumers benefit because they produce, Hyundai produced EV in Korea. Okay, so well, this is the news for today. Sorry about some mistakes. I think we're going to have some tough time to editing today, but thank you for joining. This is C-Land, the news brief, and see you all next week.